What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. The Pittsburgh Steelers just finished their home opener, their Week 3 matchup of the 2024 NFL season against the Los Angeles, don't call them San Diego, Chargers. I'll be calling them San Diego a lot today. I'm still in my old frame of mind, but Pittsburgh played the Chargers. Definitely, in my opinion, their best test to date. The Chargers, in spite of the fact of losing a lot of their offensive weapons last year, losing Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, losing all those guys, they've still got Justin Herbert, who is a double tough guy, coming in banged up with an injury, still played through, recovering quick from an injury. We'll talk about that later on as the game goes. Justin Herbert, a heck of a leader, has turned this young team. Quentin Johnston, who was thought to be a bust, has been coming on with a lot of touchdowns this season. Another one today. Ladd McConkey, the young rookie, has been playing pretty well for them. J.K. Dobbins, over from Baltimore, has been having a career resurgence as the NFL's rushing leader. So San Diego coming in here, the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, coming in here. Take a shot every time I call them San Diego. The Los Angeles Chargers coming in here at 2-0 were by far our toughest test because the offense has been revitalized under Herbert with minimal options turning into budding superstars, and then you have the defense that's one of the best defenses in the league. So having a similar schematic to Pittsburgh, being a hard-nosed, physical, short yardage burst running team that controls the clock and plays well and plays through their leader at quarterback, very similar to Pittsburgh style. So we knew this was going to be a tough, hard-nosed fight. And for the first half, it was. We went into the halftime 10-10. It seemed like the Chargers were starting to kind of get their rhythm together. The first several drives on both sides were 3-and-outs. Yards were at a premium. There was no first downs for quite a while. It seems like the Chargers started getting in a rhythm, using the middle of the field to find their tight ends. They were using McConkey in the middle of the field a lot, sitting down in zones. They only really had one play to the outside, and that was a Quentin Johnston touchdown on a busted coverage. JPJ was looking in the backfield. He was going into the flat when he should have been drifting back in the zone to cover the deep man. He drifted forward to cover the flat route, and Johnston got one-on-one pretty much open, and the safety was late getting over. So I put that touchdown on JPJ, but Quentin Johnston scores, and then the Chargers come down and get a field goal on their last drive, so 10 points on the last two drives of their first half. But Pittsburgh comes down and gets goes for a field goal from 60-plus yards, does not get that one, but gets a shorter one later on. So Pittsburgh, we go in 10-10, and a knockdown drag-out that seemed like it was starting to kind of veer toward the Chargers. It seemed like the Pittsburgh defense was getting a little bit tired in spite of playing well, but a really defensive half that led a little bit more toward the Chargers than us. Second half, Pittsburgh comes out dominating. The sacks start mounting up. Pittsburgh starts getting a lot more pressure, abusing the outsides of their offensive line, their tackles getting beat up. They start to commit a lot of penalties. They bailed us out a couple times with like 3 or 4 different penalties, giving us automatic first downs. Our offense was kind of chipping along with small 6-yard plays over the middle, small runs, small 6-yard tight end dump-offs. The offense is slow and steady, but really kind of small yardage and chippy, and the Chargers were committing a lot of dumb penalties. They were all good calls. They showed the replays, nothing really egregious, but they were bailing us out with penalties and then started getting injured. We saw Joe Alt go out with injury, their offensive lineman, rookie sensation. Herbert got re-injured again on a play that he got sacked. He started getting hit a lot. Our defense got a lot of pressure, which led to him leaving the game, and the former Commanders quarterback Tyler Heineke coming in, which pretty much sealed the deal for us. So our combination of being more physical on defense with their injuries mounting up, and then us starting to control the clock more, and the second half run game picking up from Najee Harris and converting a lot of important third downs and being smart with the ball in the second half led to Pittsburgh getting the 20-10 victory. So again, home opener, Pittsburgh gets to 3-0. They're playing against a pretty tough Charger team that came in 2-0. I like the resolve. I like hanging in the game when the Chargers could have busted it open on us. I like seeing the defensive pressure. I like the crowd getting into the game. Lots of good things, especially in the second half mounting up. The second half numbers, as far as total offense goes, Pittsburgh had close to 250. Again, started a little slow in the third quarter, but then Najee got going. We saw some good plays from Scotty Miller, Calvin Austin. We'll get into those. But Najee starts controlling the clock. Justin Fields is pretty smart for the most part. One bad play, everything else was smart. And then the total offense for the second half was Pittsburgh had close to 250 total offense in the second half. The Chargers had like -7. negative yards for the half. Pittsburgh allowed nothing from the Chargers even before Tyler Heineke got in the game. Even when it was Herbert and the starting offense, they were getting beat up. So big kudos to this defense, who allows just 10 points in the first half and nothing in the second. Only 10 for the entire game. You got to feel good about that. Let's get into the stats real quick. Justin Fields, another really economical game. Smart, 25 of 32 passing for 245 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and a rushing touchdown on the ground as well. Only had 6 yards on 6 carries, but one was a rushing touchdown. On the passing touchdown, Fields hit a really nice play across the field. It was Calvin Austin running down and then curving inside of the zone, catching the ball and then going down the middle of the field, making some guys miss with his speed and just streaking down the field. Nobody can catch him. So a really nice throw down the middle of the field for Fields to Calvin Austin for the touchdown. The interception was a bad throw. It was Fields' really only bad throw of the game. He threw one in the middle of the field, was trying to throw it kind of low. Ball went a little bit high. He was looking for like a 5-yard dump in the middle to Cordero Patterson. The ball got tipped because there was like 3 guys around the ball. It bounced around on 3 or 4 different players before it got picked off by ex-Steeler Bud Dupree. Shout out to Bud Dupree. It wasn't really a ball that was meant to be a pick. It wasn't thrown right to a defender or anything, but it was thrown in the middle of the field to a very crowded place. So not the smartest play there. First pick of the season for Fields, not the best play. But then he also, like I said, got a rushing touchdown in the first half where he had a zone read, pulled the ball back from Najee or Jalen, and then took the read on his own into the end zone. Excellent play. So passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown for Justin Fields. And besides that one play, overall, very good game. Didn't miss a whole lot besides that one pick. Najee Harris started very slow, but finished the game 18 carries for 70 yards. It's going to look really good on paper with 3.9 yards a carry against a good defense, 70 yards. Najee was under 2 yards a carry until the fourth quarter. For the most part, he was hovering between 1.5 and 1.8 yards a carry until he got some really tough, hard-nosed 6-yard runs. The offensive line wasn't creating a ton for him, and he wasn't finding much. The Chargers are a really good rush defense and just a really good physical defense across the board. Physical corners, physical safeties, Derwin James, Christian Fulton. Really good team. Asante Samuel Jr. out there. So just good, big physical guys all around the ball. But Najee winds up getting some really nice 6-yard plays, then eventually gets 2 10-plus yard runs, and then gets a 20-yarder where he goes down at the 1-yard line, smartly not scoring to end the game. Finishes with 70 yards. So very slow start, very good fourth quarter. Jerome Bettis-esque, wearing the defense down as the game goes on, getting stronger and stronger with the more carries you get. Also, Cordero Patterson was effective for the first time this season in this game. 4 carries for 33 yards and also had a catch in the middle of the field. He was getting a few targets. One resulted in a catch, one resulted in the tip ball for the pick. But four carries for 33 yards. He was getting a lot of Jalen Warren's late carries. Patterson was serving as the kind of a change of pace back in the like late third in the fourth quarter. So I don't know if Jalen got hurt or just wasn't effective. Jalen, I think, only had like 6 or 7 yards rushing, was not a factor at all in this game. Again, I don't know if he was banged up or just wasn't playing well today against this good team. But Patterson got 2 first down runs, 1 on second down, 1 on third down to help and ice the game. So you got to feel really good about Patterson helping to spell Najee Harris there on 4 for 33. Receiving, a few guys to talk about. Calvin Austin, the leading receiver of the day in yardage. This feels very good to say. I've been waiting for that for a long time. You guys know I love Calvin Austin and his ability to get downfield fast and be a guy that can break the game open with his speed, and that's exactly what he did, getting us from 13-10 to 20-10 and putting the game away. 4 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown, including the 55-yard play where he came out, about a 15-yard play where he came down on an in, caught the ball, and then just got right to the middle of the field and got past everyone with his speed. So had about 40 yards on 3 catches before that, so decent day, and then breaks it open with a touchdown. 4 for 95 and a touch. George Pickens, 5 catches, 57 yards, not targeted nearly as much. I would have liked a few more kind of end zone or deep ball shots. He only had one one-on-one end zone play. Asante Samuel had good positioning on it. I guess that's why he didn't get as many deep shots today, because Samuel's a really good physical corner that plays those deep balls well for the most part, but I would have liked to have seen Pickens get a few more deep targets. Still made some plays in the middle of the field. Got a couple on the outside boundary, including one at the end of the first half to try for a field goal. And then got a couple in the middle of the field. So 557, Pickens, your number 2 guy today. Also want to give a shout out to Scotty Miller. two nice catches today. One was a third down conversion where he caught a ball short of the first down, had to go and extend his arms to make a nice catch and then get a broken tackle to run for the first down. So big play there. And then also got another one where he took a short pass, made a guy miss, got about 10 or 12 yards, and then drew a face mask as well for the automatic first down. So two nice targets and two nice plays for Scotty Miller. Don't know if Van Jefferson was hurt today or didn't play at all. I didn't see him on the field at all. Maybe he just was ineffective, kind of like Jaylen Warren. I didn't see him play at all. But good to see Calvin Austin and Scotty Miller step up when Van Jefferson didn't do anything. They also said coming into today, Roman Wilson was going to be healthy and play for the first time this year, and then wound up being inactive just before the game started. So Roman Wilson is on his way back. I do hope that Roman Wilson playing next week and getting more and more snaps as we go does not mean less chances for Calvin Austin. I still want Pickens, Austin, and Freiermuth to be the bell cows of this offense as Wilson kind of gets in there more. I hope that it doesn't hurt Calvin Austin in the future. But again, game balls to Scotty Miller and Calvin Austin along with GP and Freiermuth for the offensive production. Offensive line overall didn't play great or that badly. They were kind of middle of the road. Did have pretty clean pockets for the most part for Fields. There was pressure all day, but it wasn't super in his face. He did get sacked twice. One was on a safety blitz from Derwin James that didn't get picked up by the running back, Najee. And the other one, I think, was on Broderick Jones, who was starting today for the injured Troy Fatano, who went to the IR today. We might be losing Troy Fatano for the year. We already lost Nate Herbig for the year. We then lost Isaiah Seumalo for the last several weeks, and now we could be losing Fatano for the year after starting him and benching Broderick Jones, who played today. And besides the one play that he made the wrong read on, who he was trying to block, that caused us one sack, other than that, nothing too bad today out of Broderick Jones. So one bad play, but seems like it was an improvement over last week. So this line has a lot of injuries. Looking forward to getting Seumalo back, although Spencer Anderson has played pretty solid. I like him a lot. Spencer Anderson and Zach Frazier have been big bright spots for this line in spite of all of its changes and injuries. So all in all, again, not a bad day for the line, but nothing spectacular either. Defensively, 5 sacks, 4 in the second half. Nick Herbig, big-time game ball, comes in here at the end of the first half. We saw an injury from Alex Highsmith. He did not play in the second half. Hope he's okay. He is always a wrecker out there. But Nick Herbig has to be the best third outside linebacker in the league. As far as bench blitzers, are there any better than Nick Herbig right now? He comes in and gets 2 sacks and a forced fumble, comes out on one of his first downs in the second half and gets a sack strip, forces the fumble on the blind side, recovered by the Chargers. But a sack and a strip for a forced fumble, and then gets another sack to help close out the game later. So 2 sacks and a forced fumble for him. 3 other sacks as well in this game, 5 total. 1 for TJ Watt, 1 for Landon Roberts, who played well today, 1 for Cam Hayward, who was in on a lot of tackles today. Nothing on the stat sheet, but was around the ball a lot. So, Herbig 2, Watt 1, Roberts 1, Hayward 1. No picks today, but a lot of sacks, which helped us to keep the Chargers from getting no rushers over 50 yards and no receivers over 50 yards. 2 nice catches from Quentin Johnson, including the 1 touchdown, and about 3 or 4 from McConkey, but nobody over like 45 yards total. Big also positives, Patrick Queen led the team with 4 solo tackles and 4 assisted today, all over the field. Dude was a wrecker. Got beat on one play to a tight end, or I think it was McConkey. Got a third down conversion on Queen's coverage. Aside from that one play, Queen was all over the field, tackling in the run game, getting pressure, energetic, strong tackles. Love Patrick Queen. Beanie Bishop, I want to give a shout out to. Nothing big on the stat sheet, but made a nice tackle on a third down on a chase and tackle play, and then also had some coverage in there as well. Didn't seem to get beat for anything massive, so good job, Beanie Bishop. And once again, Deshaun Elliott all over the field. 4 solo tackles today and several assisted. I like what Elliott's doing out there. All in all, no one to call out on defense, really. Porter had the 1 missed play. Queen had the 1 third down conversion allowed. Nothing else really big on defense. Again, allowing 10 points to a team as good as the Chargers feels really, really good. And again, second half, Pittsburgh outgains them in yardage to about 250 to about -7. What a half, including 5 sacks and a forced fumble. So big ups to the defense. Chris Boswell, 2 of 3 for field goals, misses 1 today from 62. They were trying 1 at the end of the half, didn't get close enough. That's like 5 or 6 yards bigger than his all-time longest field goal, so I didn't expect it to go in. But he's been having a big season with a lot of 50-plus yarders, so I understand why you go for it there. But he missed that one pretty wide. 2 for 3 overall in the day, made the other 2. Did look a little shaky. A couple of his things were barely getting in there. It wasn't his strongest game, but he still made 2 out of 3. Corliss Waitman today, 3 punts for 156 yards. That is a 52-yard per punt average, with one of those 3 landing inside the 20. Good day overall for him. Again, 2 weeks ago he was on the street, and he's had 2 consecutive good games now. So Pittsburgh, again, does enough on offense, starts incorporating more guys. Fields is playing smart, not turning it over that much, just 1 turnover in 3 games. Getting touchdowns on the ground and in the air today, making good decisions, looking downfield more, getting more guys involved. Production from Najee, getting Patterson involved. Austin plays well. Scotty gets some plays. Pickens gets some plays. Pack gets some plays. Lions playing well in spite of some injuries. And the defense is playing lights out. In my opinion right now, playing is the best defensive unit in the NFL. Pittsburgh goes to 3-0. There are only like 3 undefeated teams in the AFC left right now, of which Pittsburgh is 1. So you got to feel good about that. Tell me in the comments below who stood out to you. Who were your game balls? Who did you love in this game? What are you looking for next week? And how do you want to see this offense continue to improve? And again, the question must be posed because pretty soon we're going to be seeing some guys come back from injuries. Not just Sayamalu and Wilson, but also Russell Wilson potentially. Do you pull Justin Fields after going 3-0? I personally don't think so. We'll talk about it if it comes up. But tell me in the comments below what stood out to you. And if you want to see more of these deep dives week to week like I love to do every Sunday and or Monday, please like, share, and subscribe this video, and I will see you guys soon.